Since childhood, you were taught to seek happiness, seek success, seek meaning, to believe that something is missing and that once you finally find it, then you'll be complete. But what if I told you that everything you've ever wanted is already right here, right now, in front of your eyes? Look around, but really look. What do you see? A room, a few objects, maybe the light streaming through a window. Now, pause for a moment and answer me this. What exactly is missing right now? If your mind started listing desires, more money, more time, more recognition, more happiness, then you've fallen into humanity's greatest illusion, the endless search. The idea that paradise is always one step ahead, always out of reach. But what if the problem was never the absence of paradise? What if the real problem is that you were trained to ignore it? What if everything you've ever wanted has always been right in front of you, just waiting for you to recognize it? I know what that endless search feels like. I spent years chasing something that always seemed to slip away. Money, love, success, recognition, enlightenment. Always one step ahead, always unattainable, until one day, without warning, something made me stop. I was sitting there, lost in my own thoughts, tangled in worries and plans, when a ray of sunlight streamed through the window and touched my skin, just for a moment. And in that moment, there was no search, there was no lack, there was no waiting, there was only that, there was only now. And that's when I realized I was already where I had always wanted to be. Paradise was never far away. It is the very awareness reading these words right now, but you were trained to ignore it. Since childhood, you were taught to wait, to search, to feel like something is missing, like a fish frantically swimming through the ocean, desperate to find water. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But look at your own life. How many moments have you wasted waiting for something better? How many times have you overlooked the absolute miracle of being alive, breathing, feeling, existing? And here's the most important part. This isn't just philosophy, it's neuroscience. Your brain is wired to focus on what's missing. It creates a filter that hides paradise, even when you're immersed in it. The ancient Upanishads already knew this. That which is the finest essence. This whole world has that as its soul. That is reality. That is the self. That is what you are. Paradise is in every breath you take, in the song of the bird outside your window, in the cool wind touching your skin. But tell me, how many more moments will you waste before you realize it? If this made you think, if you've ever felt that restlessness, drop a comment. When was the last time you truly noticed life happening? Think about your daily routine. You wake up effortlessly. Your heart beats on its own. Your lungs breathe without needing a command. Meanwhile, the stars keep spinning in space, and gravity holds everything in perfect balance. This isn't just routine. This is a miracle unfolding every second. Your body knows what to do. Life happens without you having to control every detail. And yet, your mind keeps searching for something more, as if something were missing. And here's what no one ever told you. What you seek is already here. Your brain receives millions of pieces of information per second, but it only perceives what aligns with your beliefs. If you believe that paradise is somewhere else, your mind will simply ignore any sign that it is already here. Without realizing it, you have learned to wait, to search, to believe that peace and happiness are always in the future. Now close your eyes for a moment. Feel the energy in your body. Notice the simple fact that you are alive. Listen to your thoughts passing by, like clouds in the sky. That awareness, effortlessly noticing all of this, that is paradise. It never left. It was never gone. You just got used to not seeing it. Reality is like an ocean full of possibilities, but what you believe shapes what you actually see. If you believe you are separate from paradise, that belief becomes your reality. You build barriers between yourself and the peace that already exists within you. But here's the good news, this can change. Your brain works like a filter. It doesn't create reality. It simply selects what you perceive. Science shows that your neurons fire in patterns that can either hide or reveal this truth. In other words, the more you reinforce the idea that something is missing, the more your mind becomes blind to what is already here. Every time you postpone your happiness for the future, when you make more money, when you find someone, when your life falls into place, you are training your brain to ignore the happiness you could feel right now. But every time you realize that peace is already here, you rewire your mind to see the present in a completely new way. The problem is not you. Your brain was simply trained to work this way. There is a part of it called the default mode network, which constantly creates the sense of a separate self. An I that believes what truly matters is always just out of reach. But something interesting happens when this activity slows down. Studies show that experienced meditators can reduce this sense of separation. And when that happens, paradise stops being a distant idea and becomes a real experience. Your body reacts to the world as it was programmed to. When it senses a threat, it contracts, it protects itself. In the past, this was essential for survival. Today, this mechanism often does nothing but reinforce the feeling that you are always fighting something, always waiting, always searching. But what if just for a moment you stopped? What if right now you realized that you have already arrived? If something inside you feels that life is more than this endless search, maybe it's time to wake up to what has always been here. What you perceive of the world around you is not all that exists. Your brain filters reality according to what you expect to find. If you believe that happiness, peace, or paradise exists somewhere far away, in a better future, in a success yet to be achieved, your mind will simply ignore any sign that they are already here, right now. Without realizing it, you have spent your entire life trained to search, not to see. But here's the secret. This can be reprogrammed. Your brain works like a filter. Your brain receives millions of pieces of information per second, but it only lets through what seems important. The part responsible for this is the reticular activating system, RAS, a kind of gatekeeper of reality. It decides what reaches your awareness based on what you believe to be relevant. If you think that peace and happiness must be earned or found elsewhere, the RAS will automatically filter out any evidence that they are already here right now. But this is not a fixed destiny. Science proves that your brain can change. You can train your brain to see paradise. There is something called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to create new pathways and patterns. This means that every time you notice the present moment without judgment, without seeking something different, you are training your mind to recognize the peace that already exists. Science shows that in moments of deep awareness, activity in the posterior cingulate cortex decreases. This is the same effect observed in experienced meditators. What does this mean? That your brain already knows how to recognize paradise. It just needs to stop feeding the illusion that you are separate from it. The future is blinding you to the now. Another part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, is responsible for planning and thinking about the future. It is essential for many things in your life, but here's the problem. If you are constantly thinking about what comes next, you end up missing the perfection of the present moment. Have you ever noticed how it always feels like something is missing? How, no matter what goal you achieve, another one quickly takes its place? This happens because your brain has been programmed to seek, and seek. But what would happen if, just for a moment, you stopped? What if you simply realized that you have already arrived? Your brain can tune into reality. Studies show that when different parts of the brain begin to synchronize through gamma waves, people experience a sense of unity and deep connection with the present moment. Your brain falls into harmony when you stop creating the illusion of separation. In other words, paradise doesn't need to be reached, it needs to be recognized. Your neural circuits can be reprogrammed to see life as it truly is, without the filters that have been imposed on you. So now tell me, if all of this is already within you, just waiting to be seen, what is still keeping you from noticing it? Your mind was trained to search, not to see. When you are not focused on something specific, your brain enters a state called the default mode network. This network keeps alive the sense of being a separate self, always searching for something outside of itself. The problem? Maintaining this illusion takes an enormous amount of mental energy, and the more this activity persists, the harder it becomes to see that paradise is already here, now. Have you noticed how your mind automatically replays the past? The hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for storing memories, is what makes this happen. It holds on to all the times you overlooked the peace and perfection of the present. Over time, these memories create an unconscious pattern, a kind of mental filter that makes you expect separation instead of seeing the connection that has always existed. But here's the key: this pattern can be broken. And this shift doesn't happen in the future. It doesn't happen when you become a better person. It can only happen now, because the only place where paradise can be found is in the present. The brain gets addicted to searching, not to perceiving. Neurotransmitters play a crucial role in this as well. Dopamine, for example, is the brain's reward chemical. It fires whenever you are seeking something new, whether it's a goal, an achievement, or even the idea of enlightenment itself. Without realizing it, your brain becomes addicted to the search rather than to perception. The pleasure of seeking becomes more appealing than the simple experience of recognizing that perfection is already here. This creates a biological barrier that makes it harder to see reality as it truly is. Another key player in this process is the insula, a region of the brain responsible for perceiving the internal state of your body. Depending on your mental state, it can make you feel either wholeness or lack. When you are constantly in search mode, the insula generates the feeling that something is missing. But when you simply allow yourself to experience the present moment, it reveals the perfection already present in every cell of your body. And it doesn't stop there. Your brain also learns through imitation. Mirror neurons, responsible for picking up and replicating the behaviors of others, cause you to unconsciously adopt society's collective blindness. Without realizing it, you mimic the pattern of those who are always chasing something, reinforcing the illusion of separation. But intellectually understanding this changes nothing. You can grasp every detail of this mechanism, memorize the deepest teachings, and learn all the neuroscience behind it, and still remain trapped in the endless search. The danger of turning paradise into a concept. The mind loves to collect spiritual concepts. It enjoys building sophisticated theories about enlightenment, creating detailed mental maps of paradise, and imagining what it would be like to finally arrive there. But while you are busy thinking about paradise, you are not perceiving it. Observe your mind right now. It may be trying to understand what I'm saying, analyzing, comparing it to other ideas, searching for a deeper meaning, instead of simply experiencing what is happening right now. True realization does not happen in thought. It happens in direct contact with reality, when you touch a doorknob and feel the temperature of the metal, when you drink water and notice its texture and taste, when you walk and sense each step touching the ground. Paradise exists in these simple sensations, before thought divides everything into me and what I am experiencing. Your life is already full of opportunities to see. This washing dishes can be just a chore, or it can be a moment to feel the warmth of the water, the touch of the soap bubbles, the sound of the running faucet. Driving can be an automatic habit, or a chance to notice how your eyes, hands, and feet work together in perfect synchrony. Waiting in line at the supermarket can be a moment of impatience or an opportunity to observe the awareness that watches this feeling arise and fade. But the mind resists this simplicity. It wants something more spectacular, more special. It seeks grand experiences, altered states, mystical visions, as if paradise needed special effects to be real. But it was never hidden. It is the magic of the ordinary. The simple fact that you are aware is already enough. And now, do you see it? Have you noticed that suffering doesn't come from what happens, but from the story you tell about it? Physical pain turns into suffering when the thought arises, why is this happening to me? Relationship problems become unbearable when the mind builds narratives of blame and injustice. Financial stress intensifies when the belief in scarcity and lack takes over. The mind adds an extra layer of suffering on top of the real experience, but your body already knows how to live in paradise. It doesn't need your mind's approval to function perfectly. Your heart beats, your lungs breathe, your wounds heal. None of this requires your permission or control. Before interpretation, there is only experience. Your body perceives reality before the mind labels and judges. Your eyes see colors and shapes without needing to name them. Your ears hear sounds without classifying them. Your skin feels touch before your mind decides whether it is good or bad. Before thought divides the world into desirable and undesirable, your senses simply receive life as it is. Even your emotions, before being analyzed and resisted, are just energy in motion. Anger is just heat and impulse. Fear is alertness and activation. Sadness is heaviness and contraction. Without the mind's interference, emotions flow naturally, like the changing weather in the sky. Paradise is where you stop searching. What if, instead of seeking something beyond, you simply noticed what is already here? Every breath reminds you of the awareness in which everything happens. Every sensation invites you back to the simplicity of now. Realization doesn't come from effort, nor from trying to reach something greater. It comes when you stop ignoring the obvious. Paradise does not need to be found. It is already present as your very awareness. When you allow the experience to be exactly as it is, without trying to change or understand it, something is revealed. Nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be perfected. You are already complete. Paradise is here, but can you see it? The greatest obstacle to seeing reality as it is not a lack of knowledge, but an excess of it. The mind loves to accumulate information, seek answers, and build theories. But ironically, the more you try to understand, the further you move away from direct experience. Now, in this exact moment, can you set aside everything you think you know? Can you look at this moment without comparing it to the past or projecting it onto the future? Can you simply allow the experience to be as it is without trying to change or analyze it? Paradise is not hidden. It reveals itself when you stop searching and simply see. The choice is always yours, to recognize paradise or to keep searching, to rest in awareness or to get lost in thoughts, to live in the now or to be trapped in concepts. No one can make this choice for you. No teaching can give you what you already are. Paradise has always been here, patiently waiting for your recognition. What you have always been searching for was never far away. It is here, now, in the simple awareness of existing. There is nothing to reach, nothing to add, only something to notice. Paradise does not need to be found, only seen. If this message resonated with you, don't let this realization slip away. Drop a comment. I love reading and getting to know each of your stories. Tell me, at what moment in your day can you start noticing what has always been present? I want to hear your answer. And before you go, I've selected another video that will help you even more on this journey. Don't leave just yet. This could be the next step to finally seeing what has always been right in front of your eyes. Now, as we reach the end of this revealing expedition, I want to express my deepest gratitude to you for staying with us until the end. Your dedication and curiosity are the fuel that drives us to explore, demystify, and share these intriguing stories. I want to share something special with you. As a fan of the Map of Higher Self channel, you are about to embark on a unique journey of self-discovery and mental formation. I present to you the Map of Higher Self, a revolutionary ebook that will redefine your mental reality. As the creator of this content and leader of the Map of Higher Self channel, I'm sharing my deepest experiences and valuable lessons with you. Each chapter of this ebook is a reflection of my journey, filled with practical lessons I've lived and transformed into wisdom. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life. Click the link in the pinned comment and start your journey towards self-knowledge and positivity today. Imagine yourself for a moment as one of the ancient explorers who ventured into unknown territories, guided only by the flame of curiosity and the thirst for knowledge. Every piece of information, every symbol deciphered, is like a map leading us deeper into the labyrinth of the unknown. And just like those explorers, you too are now a little closer to the truth, carrying with you a new understanding of the forces that shape our world. Your presence here is not just a personal achievement, but a valuable contribution to a vibrant community of curious and knowledge-seeking individuals. Every view, every comment, every like is a step we take together toward a deeper and collective understanding. You are not just a spectator, you are a partner in this journey of discovery. So, as we close this chapter, I invite you to reflect on today's revelations and prepare for the next steps. We will continue unraveling secrets, questioning established truths, and exploring the mysteries around us. Your participation is essential, not just for the growth of this channel, but for the expansion of our horizon of knowledge. Until the next discovery. And remember, the real power lies in questioning and understanding what is beyond the visible. And before you go, don't miss these 2 videos I've selected especially for you. They're packed with deep knowledge and fascinating discoveries that you'll love. Click on one of them and continue your journey of self-discovery and the pursuit of wisdom with the amazing content our channel has to offer.